All right, Sky Squad, we are back in the building, and I think it's time for us to take a look at She by Sheree because the fashions are now available, okay? But in order to do that, we're going to need to take a little bit of a circuitous route in order to get to the shop, okay? So just follow along and we'll make it through and then we will review these fashions, okay? So, as you guys know, the finale for the Real Housewives of Atlanta aired on Sunday night. And as we were told by Sheree to get our credit cards ready via tweet, we were all anticipating to be able to jump onto the She by Sheree website in order to start purchasing our goods. We saw an amazing fashion show on the screen and we were ready to go, but something went wrong. When you go to the She by Sheree site, what you get, as you guys can see here, is a message. I mean, and this is a bit different from actually what we saw on the screen that night when the website was completely different from what we see here and it was different from what we will see in a second. But now you get this little icon that says She by Sheree with a message that says, "Dear fans, due to the overwhelming interest in She by Sheree, the influx of love is crashing the website. Please understand it's being worked on, so continue to check back in within the next 24 hours. We are working to get this quickly resolved. We wish to serve you soon. Thank you for your interest. Thanks to the customers whom we were able to serve so far tonight." Well, who are those customers? I have yet to really run into anyone or seen anyone online that was able to purchase anything from shebysheree.com. When you clicked on the shop icon that was here, nothing happened, at least for most of us. Some people were able to get on and they were able to see what appeared to be something that a lot of people say was available on Shein that she slapped her logo on, which is not something that I have a problem with simply because I know that that is how a lot of people do what they do in the online retail space. You know, you find a manufacturer typically either here or overseas. You get them to, put your logo on the designs and then you get your orders in, usually in about a month. And that's usually how it works. Unless you're shipping directly from overseas, which is something that I usually don't recommend because the shipping times will usually be from like anywhere from 14 to 21 to 30 days. When you see something like that online, I always tell people to be careful about that. So if you're doing an online business, make sure that you have your items shipped directly to you or to your warehouse facility or your distributor where they will distribute the products for you or you can send them out yourself. Now, in the case of She by Sheree, shebysheree.com is not where you will actually go to purchase your She by Sheree wear. You will now have to go to She by Sheree shop. Okay. And that website is shebysheree.shop. Now, I'm not necessarily sure why this whole shop was moved from shebysheree.com, but as you guys will see, the pieces herein are not the pieces that we saw on the screen. Now, we did get a message from Kenya Moore that there will be more items being updated. But again, you can no longer get anything on shebysheree.com. You must go to shebysheree.shop. The only reason I know this is because I went to Sheree's page and the new link for the shop is here. So it's .shop. It's clearly done on Shopify, which is not something that I have a problem with. As you guys can see, she did not take off the Powered by Shopify logo here. In order to do that, you must actually go into the Shopify code, and you can find instructions on YouTube on how to take off that Powered by Shopify. Um, Everybody uses Shopify. Lots of people use it. A lot of people just choose to get that Powered by Shopify taken off so that it just appears a bit more, um, it's a personal preference whether or not you want to continue to advertise for Shopify or not. But there is a space in the Shopify code where you can take that out. And again, there are YouTube links where you guys can do that. Um, as we proceed, we'll scroll down and we'll see shop, right? So we click on shop and we can finally get to the apparel. Okay. So here we have the She by Sheree trucker hats ranging from $40. Um, these appear to be on back order. So we can't order any of those. $40 for a trucker hat. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at her pricing. I say price your price point at whatever you want to price it at, because if your goal is to have a luxury brand, I mean, it is what it is. Some of those pieces that were on the runway, I could definitely see paying, luxury prices for, perhaps, but some of these pieces I cannot see paying luxury prices for. So, for instance, um, when we look at the hoodies, um, here, okay, so $250 for this hoodie, to me, I mean, I've paid maybe up to $200 for a hoodie before. But my issue is that here, when you review the clothes, they are a little bit wrinkled, right? So I would prefer that if I'm going to pay my 250, which again, I'm not going to be mad at her pricing. I do think it is rather expensive for the photos to look as though the items were literally just, this one is better. This one is much, much better. But the gray definitely is, kind of giving, I just got these out of the box tees. You know what I'm saying? Um, my question is, does this come with the entire sweatsuit? That I don't know. And some of the tees, they could be they could have a wrinkled effect, right? Um, but again, if you're advertising yourself as a luxury brand, I expect luxury in terms of your branding. Okay. And so here we have another t-shirt that's on back order. I'm assuming everyone was buying it. Um, maybe that's the case. I don't know. Let's continue to scroll on through the fashions. I do like this jogger, but the joggers themselves, they range from 142. So in order to get the whole set, you're paying 162 plus the 250 something. So you're spending about $400 for the sweatsuit. Um, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Here we have something that I do think is actually pretty it's pretty sexy. I mean, if we want to go for that route, this jogger runs from 182. So I want to see if it does change pricing the higher the size is. Let's see if the joggers do the same. So, and I'm not mad at that, because I understand that that's sometimes just how things work. And yes, they do range in pricing according to size. So be on the lookout for that when you're doing your Sheba Sheree shopping. This crop top is actually pretty nice. I felt like we might have seen something like this in the show, but I cannot recall. So I'm not mad at this. Um, I kind of feel like she sort of put this together after the launch kind of went awry, or maybe she already had these done. Again, it's just that some of the pieces look a little bit wrinkled. But again, I think you have to go the extra mile for, you know, images when you have a luxury brand. I just do. I think that has to be the case when you have a luxury brand. The t-shirts are running all about $142, and at about a $10 upcharge for larger sizes. And again, that's customary, but they didn't do that with all of them. So um, it's just little touches like maybe is this supposed to be wrinkled? I don't know. Maybe because sometimes designers will give you a wrinkled shirt. You know what I mean? Um, but sometimes at these prices they'll do the same. Let me know what you guys think. Are you buying She by Sheree? I just thought I would do a review of the fashions that we see on the new site. All of the tees run around the same amount, and the tanks run around 102. I wonder if the tanks run higher according to size. No, so they don't. The tank sizes don't change. So, overall, I will tell you that as a consumer, I'm a bit disappointed. I think that based on what we've seen online with the designer alleging that Sheree did not pay, and that the designer had to therefore end up paying for certain things in order to make this um happen. Um this was not what I was expecting, but I'm not going to be mad at it. I cannot argue with someone else's pricing. It is what it is. But what I want to know is, are you purchasing from She by Sheree? And again, note the new site is shebysheree.shop. Are you purchasing, or are you she by she's over it? Okay. Let us know in the chat down below. And we will catch you guys in the next video.